human. He's a man that fears no one. And I mean, like, when I say that, like, he literally is not afraid of any other man on this planet. And I love that. I admire that greatly about him.
But Travis, he fears women.
Yes. But don't we all? All right, so when Travis first joined the gym, he was a purple belt with many years of experience. He's been training longer than I have, which makes me feel stupid giving him a belt. But you know, he eventually came to earn his brown belt and a few years back, and today we bring him into the lineage as a black belt. My favorite Travis story is the day that we decided to get someone's stolen property back from a restaurant. So Travis has a friend who's an artist, and she sold it to this restaurant, and it was a big, like, what was it, like a moose head or something? A bull head, just mounted on the wall.
I was there.
And the funny part is that the guy didn't want to pay the woman for the bull head after it was on the wall. So me and Travis just went in there. I followed his lead, and he went in there with tools. Just didn't say anything to anybody, just walked by the servers, walked by the hostess, just moved the table out of the way, started taking the bowl down. And then the owner comes in and he starts yelling and stuff, and of course we're thinking like, yeah, this guy, all he can do is yell, and that's pretty much all he did. But that story just kind of shows you who Travis is. He will get your stolen property back for you. To make the name show, so you have to figure that out. Here is some taco.
Looks good on you.
Fornication. Sorry, let me restart that. Fornication, such as this. It's kind of hard to find the words to say, you know? I've been outshined by 5-year-olds, like pretty much most of my life. Because anytime you tell somebody to do martial arts, they got a cousin who's 5 years old. He's already a black belt. So now that I finally have my black belt, I'm kind of trying to figure out, you know, what are the tough guy answers that I can kind of make my own, you know? And I was kind of thinking the first one, like, the ground is my ocean, and most people can't swim. But I'm a baby shark, do. That's not gonna work. And then I started thinking about like the tap, snap, or nap, right? I'm getting a little older. I've been having some sleep problems, and I tell you what, like I would kill for a nap right about now. Like that one's not me either, you know. And then there's the old mantra that, you know, the black belt only covers 2 inches of your back. You got to cover the rest. I like that one, but we don't even wear our belts. I'm like, what's the thing good for? Like, that's not me either. And then there's the, we're getting warmer there, right? And then there's that, the old adage, you know, black belt's a white belt that never quit. I started this 20 years ago. Let me tell you how many times I quit, you know? But I kept coming back, you know what I mean? It took me 20 years, but I quit. I quit over and over and over. There were times where I would disappear for years. So I quit, but that's warmer. And then I started thinking about the old art swap, right? You know, jiu-jitsu, the gentle art. And when I look around this room, definitely when I look this way, the people I see in this room embody that art swapping. That some of the toughest people I know are in this room, or behind me, in front of me. And that's what it's about, right? And when I look at, you know, all these people, it's like, that's me. That's what I'm going for. You know, that gentle nature that can handle business when the time comes. And leave some of those stories out. Parents are here, but you know, when the hammer, you know, hits, you know, I'm down to clown. And when I look around this room too, you know, like the two feelings, other than anxiety maybe, the two feelings that I have receiving this belt are I'm humbled and I'm gracious, and I'm thankful. And so those are the two main feelings. I'm very gracious, I'm very humbled, and I'm thankful. So I had to write it down, make sure I don't leave anybody out. I probably still will. The first person I met in this sport was Charles Sands. He's not here right now, but I got to give him credit. You know, he saw me through from white belt to blue belt. You guys can save the applause because there's a long list of names. So you know, for sure, but nothing but love and respect. And that's why I'm mentioning these people. Pretty much the second person I met, I think my second day of jiu-jitsu, I met Professor Bill Murphy, and he's one of the reasons why I'm in this sport, because I came into this sport 6'2", 225, lifting heavier than I've ever lifted. I was shredded. And that man right there walked in with a cane, and he tore me to shreds and put me in my place, and I needed it. And that's, if I would have came in and got a gentle beating, if I would have got that gentle art part of it, I needed that beat down. And Professor Murphy, not only on the mats, off the mats, one of the most intelligent people I know. Nothing but love and respect.
100%. Feelings mutual.
Rob Kahn couldn't make it. They had a ceremony up north too, but I had the privilege and the pleasure of being trained directly with Rob Kahn for a couple years. And I'll be honest, man, in those 2 years, I didn't get a single stripe on my belt. I squandered it, you know, for sure. I look at what I could have accomplished, you know, versus camping north with some of the killers I see in this room, you know. I certainly wasted a lot of that time, but you know what? I kept coming back and I'm here now. And this is just the beginning, you know. Like, I got to grow into this a lot. Hopefully not in stature. During that time, I got to train with Robbie D'Onofrio, who has a purple belt. Was probably more terrifying than he is as a black belt. That guy was savage and terrifying. I got to roll with midget back then. Bamboo always welcomed me in with open arms. Anytime I swung through there, though, he made sure that the visiting blue belt from Racing Camp North had to go against blue belt Dan Martinez or JR. He made sure that when I walked into school, I got the killers. But you know, always an open door. And you know, side note too, I respect that. I respect that we have this open door policy because there are gyms where like you can't leave, you can't train there, you can't. I would like. The ownership. So we love having people drop in, you know, like all the, I look at how many academies that are being represented right now, and that's like a testament to how far this sport's come in 20 years. Coach Kev, man, one of the jolliest people I know, man. You know, and I had the privilege to kind of, to roll with, you know, train with Kev back in the day. Then I moved back. I moved back to this area to go to school, and pretty much immediately started training under Clayton. And I'm going to try not to get choked up about, you know, black belt, you know, that's nothing, but Clayton is one of the nicest dudes that I know, and he is a very gentle-natured man. There were a few times where he had to kind of step in and stick up for me for different weird things that happened. He actually awarded me my purple belt, and I'm going to try and make this quick, guys. But, you know, after 20 years, there's a lot of names on that list, right? So he awarded me my purple belt, and I was coming off of like a year-long knee injury. I tore my meniscus. And during that ceremony, we had to roll 1 minute, right? We had to roll for an hour, and every 1 minute, they would send a new guy in. Send a new guy in. Every minute, new guy in for a full hour. And the instructor at the time wouldn't let me roll because of my injury. No, he was looking out for me, you know, for sure, right? But I made it very vocal, like, I'm not receiving this purple belt if I can't earn it the way everyone else does. And so he said, everybody in the middle, and I went to the middle, and he pulled me right back out and said, not you. And so I sat on that wall with like tears almost in my eyes, like starting to well up. And Clayton came over and grabbed me, and he pulled me to the mat. Was so gentle, he's like, let's just work, let's just roll. But he was like, you're gonna roll. So I wanted to earn it. you know? And then Clayton rolled with me for maybe 2 or 3 of the 1-minute rounds, and then he very gently exited, passed me off to another black belt who apparently didn't know the Don't Hurt Travis rule. And those guys just started smoking and smashing me for the full hour, and I loved it. I loved every minute. So I'm really thankful for that. Also, there's 2 kinds of people in this world. There's a guy who's going to get that new purple belt. He's gonna make a point when you're in there for an hour sweating it out, and then there's the general major guys who help you work through it for sure. So Clayton Line, if you don't know him, shake his hand. One of the best dudes I know for sure. Joshua Duke, man. Not even just what he's done on the mats, just always been a good friend, great training partner, great coach, the time I got to spend with him. But the stand that this man takes, against some of the evil things that happen in the world.
Look at Adam Johnson takes a stand.
Joshua Duke's the man. He's done a lot for this sport, not just locally, but on the big scale things. Like Josh has done so much for the sport. Oliveira, like him and I got to come off his blue belts and stuff like that. I gave him a last-minute call yesterday to really slip my mind when I was writing down my name. Like, holy moly, Oliveira, great dude, awesome man. Doors are always open. He's always like the one to have me come through and stuff like that. So nothing but love for Oliveira. The boss dogs, Jackie and Jack, great people as well. There's somebody I'm not going to let off the hook here, and I got to see where he's at. He's around here somewhere. Where's Fred Clausiogami? Where's Fred at? He's back in the corner somewhere. So yeah, Fred, wherever you are. Guy's got several black belts. Again, one of the most gentle-natured people I know. When I first started, I got to meet Fred. And awesome dude for sure. My dude Guy, McBride, all the black belts back here, man. The crew here, all of you guys, Stumpo, right in front of everybody. I'll let you guys know because there's a lot of people in attendance here that, for the record, I've got seniority. I got my belt before Stumpo. So, you guys see him getting all line. If he's not yes or no, sir, then you guys just let me know. But no, all of you guys that are, I'm honored to share, this experience at this stage with you guys, the coaches, Dylan, Christian, all of you guys, Neely, I don't know. Kate, wherever she's, I know she's over there filming me. I'm lucky to have, not just like a great woman by my side who is an amazing person and beautiful and talented and stuff like that, but as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, man, it's been great to have somebody like her by my side, sharing techniques and stuff like that. And she's taught me as much as I've taught her. I only have 2 more pages, guys. John Turner, again, he's not here, but I'm still going to give the credit where it's due, right? I sometimes say nice things to people when they're not around. Having JT in the room is definitely the guy who I've thrown away more jiu-jitsu than I feel like I've learned it sometimes. The further you get down the road, you realize the more you have to learn. So having John come in has been an awesome addition. And then basically, I feel like I might be forgetting a coach or somebody to thank. But my man Sonny, there's nobody else in the world that I'd rather receive this black belt from. Sonny won't let you know. There's a little that art suave in there, right? There's a little that gentle art, but he won't let you know the gentle part. You might see him, big guy, tattoos, very stone-faced. Sonny's a huge teddy bear.
I cry in the shower.
And I'll let him know. Sonny, kind of threw it out there that I'm a guy who fears no man, and that's definitely true. I've taken some beat downs in my life, but this man has had my back at times that I didn't even need it.
Like the bull.
Like the bull thing, yeah, because I was going to bring that up. But I tell you what, being up there in that ladder with my hand shaking, getting the screwdriver going, this guy's yelling and screaming and cussing at me, and then you got a guy like that who's watching your 6, wasn't worried for a minute. Another time I left your apartment, and then one of the maintenance workers was parked behind me, started screaming, honked his horn, and then I honked my, I got a horn too, how you like it? And then he rolled down his window and started screaming. I started screaming at me, I said, what's up? And then he got out of his car, I'm like, I got legs, And then he started walking, and when I stood up, he's, I moved his car, it wasn't a big deal, so I called Sonny laughing. I'm like, yeah, I don't know who drives this black truck. Sonny left his house to go find the guy. He found him, he says, you don't know who you just messed with. That's one of my coaches, but, so Sonny will have your 6 over and over and over. And that's a man that I want in my corner, so.
Even if it leads us to the bad neighborhoods, right?
Let's go, yeah, for sure. So, they basically say that a black belt's speech should last as long as they do on the mats. So I think given my cardio, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. One last thing. Training partners, man. we need you guys, man. Like, we're all in here doing it together. Be gentle with your training partners. We all need each other, you know what I mean? So, like, you guys are making this whole thing happen. So, like, nothing but love and respect for all of you guys. So.
Good job, Joe.